Chelsea.
Hi, Therese.
Today, for Wonderful Human Wednesday, I'm interviewing the very amazing Chelsea Polson. All have gotten to know her a little bit through DMs and through the magnificent posts she's been doing on my social media accounts. And I thought this would be an amazing opportunity to get to know her as a human. Chelsea, please let everybody know how you and I met.
That's a great question. In 2025, I spent a really large amount of time reading Allie Hazelwood books back to back to back. And I was doing immersive reads, so I was listening to them as well. And I had just started a book club. It's a virtual book club. And I had a bunch of questions about audiobook narration. So I decided that I was going to send a DM to Therese Plummer. I just finished listening to Deep End, and I was obsessed with the duet narration, and I was really wanting to just find out a little bit more about the process. So reached out to Therese, and she responded with a voice memo, which I was a little floored. That was really fun. And you came to my book club and we had an amazing Q&A session. I feel like it was like 2 hours long. You were with us for such a long time that night. And the rest is history. We just kept on talking and getting to know each other.
The part that I love the most about you was you slid into my DMs and you said, "Hey, I got this book club. I've got a couple questions if you have time." And I said, "Hey, let's freak them out. Why don't we do a Zoom?" And I Zoom bombed your book club, and everybody was slightly freaked, which I loved because I said, let's keep it a surprise. And then, Chelsea, you and I kept talking afterwards, and I noticed on your social media accounts that you like really knew how to post and like you had these amazing collages.
I was just like, what would happen, and what would happen if I asked?
What's the worst thing that can happen if you ask? They say no.
Mhm.
Moving on, right?
Exactly.
What I want you to tell people, which is the greatest thing that I found out about you, besides being an avid audiobook fan, what you do with a business partner. Please tell everyone that listens.
Yes, I own a vintage store in Durham, North Carolina. I co-own it with two incredible people. It's called Durham Vintage Collective. We are in our third year of business. It's really fun slinging vintage. The shop has been recognized nationally. We actually were featured in 36 Hours in Durham for a New York Times article. That was really, really cool. We've had Best of Durham 2 years now. And it's been a really fun journey getting to know the community, getting to know just downtown Durham in general. It is such a tight knit community, the vintage resellers and all of the people who own businesses downtown. We really take care of each other. As with selling vintage, you're going to be selling things that just aren't going to fit your body, right? And so it's really fun when people come into the store and you're able to see them try things on and play dress up. And we have teens will come in with groups of friends or with their parents, and they'll do little try on sessions. It's so cute. Or they'll come in and we have a VHS player in the back and we'll have a movie playing, and they'll just all gather around the TV and watch
The
some
fact that a
random movie from the
VHS is,
90s.
oh my God, you guys, everyone that's my age. I mean, the fact that VHS is vintage, can we all like groan together? Oh,
Be kind, rewind.
oh. Who and what were you before Durham, North Carolina, vintaging?
Yeah, so I actually have a Bachelor of Arts in Dance, classical ballet, and
Girl,
I danced for a really long time, really enjoyed myself. I taught, I choreographed. It was wonderful. I did a ton of fun internships. It was a really good time. And throughout my mini career, if you will, I realized that I enjoyed marketing myself more than the actual performative side. I really enjoy being behind the scenes. And so within honing my art with ballet, I was able to take that and use the skills that I had from learning how to market myself and then bring that into my business as a vintage reseller.
I had a moment where I was like, God, we really do live so many lifetimes in one, right? So how
Yeah,
do you feel about
definitely.
what you're living right now?
Oh, that's a great question. And actually it's a really exciting one because I don't know. And I love that. I love that
Yeah,
so,
me
so
too.
much. My life has changed really drastically in the past 4.5, 5 months since we've met. A lot of opportunities have opened up for me, and
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what happens within my career, what I can accomplish this year. And yeah, I'm creeping into the bookish community. You guys better watch out.
What are you passionate about?
I am the most passionate about mental health advocacy, and
Mm,
that is something that is very, very important to me as someone with
nice.
bipolar 1 and OCD and ADHD. It's something that I live with daily, and it's a struggle, and it's something
Yeah.
that people up until like the past few years really didn't talk about. There was a stigma around it. It wasn't
Yep.
really something that you could bring up in conversation, and you certainly couldn't talk to employers about it. It was just, that was just something
Totally.
that wasn't said and done. And I was diagnosed when I was 30, so it hasn't been a really long time. And the journey has been wild, and I've made it out the other end, but
Mm,
I am so passionate about being real,
yeah.
real and honest about my mental illness and supporting other people who have the same mental illnesses as me. And also, I've been really passionate about curating a space for myself in the world, a space for myself and what that means, what that looks like, what kind of career works best for myself personally, and being able
Yeah.
to figure that out and fine tune that and have the ability to make those changes in my life is something that I've been really passionate about doing, and then also encouraging other people to do.
Thank you for talking about it. Thank you for advocating for it. Thank you for showing us how it's done to have a career, but also take care of ourselves with whatever it is we're dealing with. Thank you for talking about being diagnosed later in life. I too was diagnosed with ADHD after I got tested for traumatic brain injury after my car crash. When I visited Chelsea's book club, we talked about deep ends, we talked about narrating, and then questions and comments about mental health and how it's represented in maybe the books they read, how it's not represented. And it was just such a good discussion.
It was wonderful, again, having you jump into that little slice of life right there. And what the reason I started my virtual book club is because there is just a need for connection, right?
Yep.
Especially when you're an adult, it is difficult to make friends. Searching for that human connection and finding people that are passionate about the same things as you is so
Hmm.
important. And it can be so isolating, being a mother, being a working professional, just in general, just being a person in the world. It can just be really isolating. There's just something really special about everything, the craziness in the world. And yet, here we are, this small group of people, just in this tiny little vacuum of space, who are able to support and love each other and uplift each other in really, really dark times.
Mm.
And I think that that's something that's so important to have within your life, even if it's just a single person that you're able to speak with, It's really hard to consistently show up for people,
Yes.
in general. Like, we all have things that are going on. And the fact that I have these individuals who are continually showing up for themselves
Mm.
and also for me, for each
Hmm.
other, is so life affirming to me.
Mm.
And it just brings me so, so much joy.
Last question. What is something you've learned in the last couple months that feels exciting and motivating for you?
I think we should bring it back to circle it back around to the beginning of our discussion, because the best advice that I have received within the past, I would say, year, is that it does not hurt to ask respectfully. It is very
Yay.
important to be respectful of the space that you're entering. There is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't ask.
Oh, I love it. And Chelsea, your hair is fire.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting people get to know what a wonderful human you are.
Thank you
Mwah.
so much, Therese. Mwah. Love you so much.